I need to say something that's going to sound strange coming from someone who talks about XRP every single day. Your bag is probably bigger than mine. A lot of you watching this have more XRP than I do, some of you significantly more. And I'm not worried about that, not even a little. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the size of someone's bag was never the thing that actually mattered, and why so many holders keep adding to their position thinking that's the plan, when it's actually the thing quietly keeping them stuck. Here's what I keep seeing in the comments, in DMs, in the Discord. Someone hits 5,000 XRP, feels good, buys more. Hits 10,000, feels even better, buys more again. Every dip becomes another buying opportunity. Every green candle becomes proof they were right to keep stacking. And on the surface, that looks like discipline, like someone who believes in their thesis and is executing on it. But here's the uncomfortable question underneath that pattern. At what number does it stop? At what point does "I should keep accumulating" turn into "I actually have a plan" for what happens next? For most people I talk to, there isn't an answer. The bag just keeps growing indefinitely with no defined endpoint. And that's not a strategy. That's a habit that's replaced a strategy. Let's look at where XRP actually sits right now, quickly, because context matters here. Price has been range-bound between $1 and $1.10 for weeks. It started the year near $1.85, meaning a huge portion of this year's buying has happened at a loss relative to January's price, even while the total token count in people's wallets keeps climbing. ETF inflows, which spiked hard when spot XRP ETFs first launched, have cooled significantly, dropping from hundreds of millions in the first 2 months down to a fraction of that by summer. None of that means XRP is broken. It means the "just keep buying, it'll pay off eventually" approach has no actual evidence behind it working faster just because you're adding more. More XRP at a stagnant price is still stagnant. The math doesn't change because the quantity does. Here's why I'm genuinely not worried about a bigger bag than mine, and this is the actual point of this video. My position size was never the variable I was optimizing for. What I was building instead was a plan for what my money does, regardless of what XRP's price does on any given week. That's a completely different project than accumulation, and it's the one most holders skip entirely, because accumulation feels active. You're doing something, clicking buy, watching the number go up, while building an actual income plan feels like extra work on top of a strategy you already believe is working. Let's be specific about what continuously investing in XRP actually costs you, because it's not just opportunity cost in the abstract. Every dollar that goes into another XRP purchase is a dollar that isn't available for anything else, isn't in an emergency fund, isn't building toward an active trading account, isn't diversified into an asset class that moves on a completely different timeline than XRP's regulatory and adoption story. If XRP is your only financial decision month after month, you've built a portfolio with a single variable controlling your entire financial outcome. That's not conviction. That's concentration. And concentration without a plan for what happens if the timeline runs long is where holders end up stuck, sitting on a large number that isn't translating into an improved life for years at a time. Here's the alternative, and it's simpler than it sounds. Instead of every spare dollar going into more XRP, split your approach. Keep your existing XRP position. Don't sell it, don't panic about it. Let it run as your long-term thesis exactly like it's supposed to. But stop treating buy more XRP as your only financial move. Redirect new capital toward building an active income stream, something that pays you based on information available this week, not based on when a Senate vote finally happens or when institutional adoption finally accelerates. Forex moves on interest rate decisions and inflation data. Known, scheduled inputs you can prepare for in advance. Employment numbers, central bank announcements, GDP releases, and a constant calendar of information turn into tradable setups on a weekly basis, not a multi-year basis. That's the fundamental difference between the plan you're currently running and the one I'm describing. One is add to a position and wait. The other is read information and act on a timeline you actually control. This is exactly why I'm not worried about a bigger bag than mine. Bag size was never the goal. It was one part of a two-part plan, the long-term hold, sitting quietly and compounding on its own multi-year timeline, next to an active income stream that doesn't need XRP to move at all in order to put money in your account this week. If you've only built the first half of that plan, a bigger bag doesn't fix the actual problem. It just makes the imbalance bigger too. XRP is your savings. It's meant to sit mostly untouched while a slow multi-year thesis plays out around it. Regulation, adoption, institutional infrastructure, all moving on their own schedule. That part of the plan is fine exactly as it is, no matter how large your position already is. But your salary, the income you can actually generate, spend, and rely on this month, cannot come from that same position. It has to come from somewhere active, somewhere responsive to information you can read today. Continuing to pour every available dollar into a bigger XRP bag doesn't build that second half. It just delays building it, sometimes for years, while the feeling of doing something masks the fact that no actual income plan exists underneath it. This is the exact gap the free trading community was built to close. Not another place chasing XRP headlines, but real, structured Forex setups. For people who already understand the long-term XRP thesis and don't need convincing on that part, but are ready to finally build the active half of the plan they've been missing. It costs nothing to join. No membership fee, no upsell behind the word free. The model works because the community works, not because you're paying for access. The Founding 50 list has 26 spots left. Once it's full, it's closed permanently. No reopening. And founding members keep a badge that stops being available the second the list fills. The link is in the pinned comment. The second you join through the link, you'll see this interface. Start. Here is where you'll find the complete server guide. Your bag being bigger than mine was never something to be worried about, and it's not something you should be either. What actually matters is whether you've built the other half of the plan yet. If you haven't, that's not a failure. It's just the next step. And 26 spots is exactly how much time you have left to take it before this particular door closes.